So Raina, do you want to walk us through some examples?
Yeah, sure thing. So thanks, Scott. So like you mentioned, virtual events have been replacing many of the physical events that we've been seeing. So for events teams and marketing ops folks, this is kind of a new world, right? They're using multiple tools online to capture leads, different channels like event management tools like Eventbrite, webinar tools like Zoom, marketing automation tools like Workato. So the operations to kind of set up these tools, ingest leads, manage all of the communications behind these events, right? All of these operations are kind of multiplied. So but when we look at attendees and kind of in the past when we were hosting events, right, we're inviting customers, we're inviting prospects, people that we really want to attend these events. And on the day of the event, people would come to the registration booth to pick up their badge, and the staff could verify who the person is using some form of identification, like a driver's license, or check to basically just check if this person is really who they say they are. So what does that look like virtually, right? So you're keeping up with kind of all of registrants for all different sources and all different events. And maybe not every person who registers for an event needs to be approved. So maybe they're not the right audience, maybe they're a competitor, maybe the registrants are not a good fit for your business. So how does your events and marketing team kind of keep track of all registrants, decide who should attend, and improve the quality of the leads that come out of these events? So here we go. So we solve this problem with kind of a straightforward but very rich workflow. So we bring in the registrants that come in from various sources like Eventbrite or landing pages. We basically enrich these registrants with information from their public profiles on LinkedIn, firmographic data from Clearbit, product usage insights, if any, from a data warehouse like Snowflake. Then we use Workbot, which is a Workato chatbot, to push this enriched registrant info into Slack. So the relevant team members can kind of make a decision whether or not to approve this registrant. If the registrant looks good, there's nothing unusual, let's approve the registrant, and then we can send a calendar invite over to them. So let's take a look at actually how this would work. Scott, do you mind walking us through this process?
Yep. So going to the first part of the process, we talked about registration, right? So this is a Zoom registration page, and you can see that Raina has entered her information. She wants to attend this webinar, so she's going to register. And one nice thing to note here is this is a very short registration page, right? But what we're doing in the background is as soon as you submit it, you can actually pull information, like Raina mentioned, from third-party sources to enrich that data. So the burden is more on you rather than on the registrant. And so we've created this bot that actually posts the data that came in through the registration. And you can see that Raina just entered her email address, name, and that's it. And what we've done is enriched this data with the company information, job title, annual revenue, all this other information that we already have, and automatically added it and sent it to the salesperson. So now the approver doesn't have to go into these external systems. All of it is just presented to him or her directly, right? So saving that person time and also giving them the information they need to determine whether they want to approve this person or deny this person. Like if Raina was at a competitor, you might want to deny. And also making this function available right in Slack. So also, instead of having to go to Zoom and go through a huge approval list, you can just do it right from Slack. So in this case, I will let Raina attend this webinar. Yeah.
Okay. And one thing maybe to note also is just, the information that we're pulling from these different sources, it's totally customizable. So for us, we wanted to look at annual revenue, but maybe, you want to look at the field for maybe number of employees. And also maybe you don't use Clearbit, maybe you want to use Zoom info instead. So all of that's totally customizable. You can kind of tweak this workflow to fit how it best fits your business. So Scott, we're letting me through. I can approve?
Yep, go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So,
and one thing to note here too is like, for this demo, you can do the approval, but we can also set restrictions so only certain people could approve this as well.
Right. All right. So if we go here.
Now that you've been approved, we can go to Zoom and actually check to see if that approval went through. Yep, the number of registrants went up by 1. And Raina, yep, you're approved for this event. So you can see how that automation just synced that data right back to Zoom.
Right, and we should be able to see, let's see, it looks like I've also been invited along with some demo accounts, but we've been invited to this event as well in my calendar.
Right, and this is important too, because as we mentioned earlier, people don't necessarily attend these events, and if the burden is on them to make sure that the event is in their calendar, they may forget or they just may blow it off completely. So by sending them the calendar invite, all they have to do is accept, or not even accept, they just see it in their Google Calendar. So it's just making it one step easier for people to remember that you have this event and attend.